Hey there, how's it going? This is Across the Rubicon channel, and today is the 25th of July. I'm just walking in Canterbury streets here. It's just had a bit of rain, so it's a bit fresh. It's nice actually. Yeah, it's still a beautiful little town. Great day yesterday. I think there's somewhere between 1,500, maybe 2,000 people, I'd say. I might be wrong, but certainly a good day. Great speakers and a very positive crowd. I'll just show you the streets here. It's really nice. So yeah, there was also a big event in Trafalgar Square in London. It's always much bigger there, obviously. And I'm not sure of the numbers, but there was a bit of trouble at the end of the day, apparently, where the police got into a bit of a skirmish with people. But it's funny how the police act this way. I just can't get my head around why they would act in this way against people who have the right to protest about something they believe is wrong. It's obviously not unique to the UK. It's Australia. Look at Australia. Look at Melbourne. It's even worse there. But it's in France. It's all around the world, but there's different levels of police brutality, if you like. So this is the main street here in Canterbury. That is lovely. But yeah, you see Avi Yemeni's video yesterday, the day before yesterday, where he was his security man, big fella. And you can see he was quite deliberately just taken out from behind by the police. And disgusting, actually, the way they act, the way they carry themselves. And you can see they really enjoy the power they've been given to do what they want. And as soon as a policeman, a cop, if you like, puts his hand on you, grabs you, his mates are to basically jump in and grab you as well. A bit like a pack of dogs. But what amazes me, they do it with such relish. And I just find it bizarre. I find it bizarre. I don't know much about the story, but Tommy Robinson was in court the other day as well. And for them who don't know, because I've not followed the story, I've just heard people talk about it yesterday. £100,000 fine. £100,000. That's for a civilian. A civilian who's not a multi-millionaire or a billionaire. He's not a corporation, he's not a company, he's not a big businessman. £100,000. I mean, talk about a man who's been persecuted. Yes, I've been persecuted in New Zealand myself. But I fully admit myself, compared to Tommy Robinson, I'm small fry, man. This man is being persecuted big time. And 100,000. That's basically sending out the chilling effect. If you do what Tommy Robinson does, if you say what he says, you'll face this as well. And when you get £100,000 fine, that tends to destroy your marriage, lose your house, destroys your life. £100,000. That's like in New Zealand. That'll be I don't know, 250 grand, maybe 260 grand. A lot of money, man. A lot of money. That's half your house, as good as in Christchurch. I don't think your wife would be happy. But it just goes to show, doesn't it, that the judicial system in the UK is politicised. I don't think the scales of justice are blind anymore. I think the judges, the judicial system, everything is set up. It's all geared towards destroying individuals who have got the bottle to actually stand up and say something, i.e. Tommy Robinson and many others. They cop it all the time. 2 jail terms that lad's done. And for what? What has he done really? He hasn't killed anybody, hasn't raped anybody, hasn't committed mass murder. All he's done is, well, spoke his truth. A lot of people's truth. Let's face it, a lot of people agree with him. I would say most of the people in the park yesterday. I gave a speech, by the way, for about 5-10 minutes. I think I was the last one up. I don't know where that speech is, by the way, I don't know. It's out there somewhere. I never filmed it myself. But I'd say most of those people were supporters of the aforementioned. I think it's growing, the movement's growing, but I'm not sure if it's growing fast enough. I'm not sure what the end result's going to be. Just don't know. But Britain is not alone. New Zealand, Australia, especially Melbourne. Look what kind of leader they've got in Melbourne, Victoria. What's his name? Dan Andrews. Corrupt as sin, isn't he? Now, walking around here, Canterbury, you see plenty of people. So many people walking around with masks on. And they seem to put them on when they walk around the shops, and I would say maybe, I don't know, half and half. You walk into a shop and they're putting a mask on, they walk back out, they take them off. Some people are just walking down the streets with their masks on. Driving the cars with their masks on. I don't know. That's all I'll say about that. But hopefully they'll one day get out of the habit. Now I'm looking up the street here and I can see 1 or 2 masks. So it's not many. But as soon as you walk into a shop, it seems like half of them have got masks. But yeah, I've seen people driving around cars by themselves with masks on. So yeah. So I'll carry on walking down the streets anyway.
Yeah, so close.
How long? 8 minutes? 7 minutes, jeez. That's gone quick. But yeah, some good speakers yesterday. Very passionate people. And hopefully try and get to London next week. And I'll be meeting a few people from up and down the country. And see what happens. And it'll be good. I'm sure it'll be good. It's funny how the media is ignoring these massive protests in London. Massive protests. So the media are ignoring them conveniently. If it was a Black Lives Matter protest or a Save the Planet protest or whatever they call them, Extinction Rebellion, whatever they call them, the media would be all over it, wouldn't they? But because these people represent what they represent, i.e. freedom in a lot of respects, the media treat them like the far-right white supremacists, and that's the narrative. That's actually the narrative. That's the narrative they're using. Look, this river here, look. It's beautiful. What's this river called again?
River Stour.
Stour, the River Stour. I walked past here earlier, made a video, got it wrong. So I'm walking.
We'll keep it through this one.
No, I'll try to avoid it. I've already got wet enough today. Just walking towards the west gate. You can just see it right down the back there. So yeah, lions led by donkeys, eh? I think that was coined in the First World War. Lions led by donkeys. Over the top you go at 7 o'clock precisely. Don't worry, we'll be right behind you. It's funny how people conform so readily to what the leaders of nations tell them to do, and how the media are corrupted to become not news channels now, but propaganda machines. Not all, but the vast majority. You got this GB News in the UK. Who knows? I've heard stories about them that they're just, I don't know, controlled opposition really, and it's not quite what you think. But I don't know. I've only just arrived last 4 days ago, so I like to think it was an alternative. A bit like, I don't know, Fox News, Newsmax, whatever, in the United States. You just don't know. And it went pear-shaped, didn't it? A couple of weeks ago, where one of the hosts took the knee to Black Lives Matter. Just think to yourself, how stupid would you have to be to do that on a channel where the vast majority, 95% plus, would be watching you because you don't believe in that kind of stuff. And you're hypercritical for that kind of stuff. So I think that was the end of him, and rightly so. So, yeah, but our leaders controlling their nations, prime ministers and presidents, are they controlling? They've been elected in democratically. Not sure about the United States for the last election, but Boris Johnson, is he a Conservative? Yeah, that's all I'll say about that. But it seems like they make the most stupid decisions, don't they? Stupid decisions like 52 or 54 million the other day given from the British government to the French to, I don't know what it was for. Something to do stopping those boats coming over the channel. Think you stopped it? Do you think the French will say, oh, thank you very much, British government, you give us 52 million, oh, we'll stop it? Won't. 52 million. What could you do with 52 million? You know what I could do with it. You know, they say it with such glee, you know, fantastic it is. But it's bonkers, isn't it? They must laugh at us. The French must laugh at the British. It's so English, it's so stupid. So, I think that's German, isn't it? But anyway, you get the meaning. The British, we once led the world, Fish chips, mushy peas, bacon, egg butties, chip butties. We led the world in everything. But now we only lead the world in stupidity and cowardice. But I'm talking about our leaders, not the people. The people have still got plenty of bottle. But the media is wearing us down. And it is the media, the fake news media of Britain and New Zealand and Australia and the United States, wearing people down, feminising men and masculating women. When you feminise a population of men and turn them into effeminate, androgynous males, you'll have a problem in the future. Those kind of males don't breed. And, well, when they become effeminate and girlified, if you like, they don't tend to have an aggressive bone in their body. And when you've got millions of them, and your country got invaded, i.e. in a war or something like that, you'd have a problem, wouldn't you? New Zealand, 20 years, obviously I was there, 19 and a half years. But they have very successfully feminised their men. New Zealand punches well above its weight in sports and things like that. All Blacks, rugby, I mean, everyone plays rugby. All big, huge men, but like big, huge physical beings that you wouldn't want to mix in a mixed with in a dark alley, you know. Strong, huge men. But the same men have got an opinion on nothing. They're too afraid to have an opinion. They're too afraid to express an opinion. Now, I'm not sure about the UK yet. I've only been back here for 4 days, but I expect it's the same here. France, who knows? But you look at the French, they've got a history of revolution. And the language of war is written in French. And a lot kicks off in Paris, a lot. And how's it going, bud? You right?
I saw you on YouTube this morning.
Oh, cheers, bud. And that's nice. Someone recognised me in Canterbury. But yeah, I think if anything kicks off in Europe, I mean, perish the thought. I think it'll be in France. I think it'll be in Paris. So that's where it all starts, then, Paris. At least in the United States, they've got the, I'll walk back up now, walk south again. Paris, got a history of revolution, and they will do the business. The United States, they've still got the First and Second Amendment, Constitution, and they will use that to protect their rights. Like that thing in the park yesterday in the Dane John Gardens. There was like, I don't know, 1,500, maybe 2,000 people. There seemed a hell of a lot more people marching through the streets than what there were in the park. It was quite strange. They must have been hiding in shop doorways to join the queue, I don't know. But anyway, see, if that was in Texas, if that was in some of these red states in the United States that are pro Second Amendment, a lot of the men standing in that park would have had rifles, high-powered rifles slung over their shoulders to protect themselves from trouble and the tyranny of the state, i.e. the police, or law enforcement as they call it in the United States. So I think the United States is still very lucky to have that. And let's face it, no matter what you think about the United States, I still believe the United States is still the land of the free and the home of the brave. Because when they do something, they've got a habit of doing it big time. And you don't pick on the United States. Anybody. Only at your own peril. Because, well, they go in all guns blazing, don't they? And they have got a warrior culture. You look at like the vast majority of veterans in the United States would be Trump supporters, I would say, 75, 80% maybe, would be Trump supporters of veterans. And they'd all have arms, all well trained, and they will do the business. And they will protect their rights and freedoms because they've got the Constitution, the written document to protect what they would do. So if the police come knocking on their door, law enforcement, as they call it in the United States, come knocking on their door and they say, we've come for your guns, sorry, but they have a written document to say the Second Amendment protects them from foreign invaders, I'm paraphrasing, and government tyranny. So when the government comes for their guns, knocks on their doors, that there is government tyranny. And Americans have got a right to defend against it. And that, to me, is just beautiful. But in Britain, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, we just haven't got that. But anyway, not sure how long I've been on here. 19, nearly 20 minutes, would you believe? Blimey. So anyway, here's Canterbury again. One last look. That's looking south-ish. And that is looking north. I think it's northwest actually. Because I think that behind me is the west gate. So yeah, it's quite hard to get your bearings in. I even tried to get in the cathedral, but there was a policeman standing at the gate. A Scottish fella, as it happens. And he says, how much did you get in? He says, £14. 14? Okay, I don't think I'll bother. So I just seen Canterbury Cathedral from a distance. But I did go for a lovely cup of tea in the tea room here in Canterbury, and it cost me a very delightful £2.50 for the loveliest cup of tea. 2 cups of tea for £2.50. That was impressive. So yeah, some things are a lot cheaper, some things are a lot more expensive. So that works in roundabouts, I suppose, depending on what you're buying. So, I wasn't meant to make such a long video, but I thought, well, look at these little alleyways here, like just behind me there. These little nooks and crannies in this town. It really is nice. So many people walking about. Look at this. It's Sunday afternoon. So yeah, Trafalgar Square next Saturday, weather permitting, and there will be hundreds of thousands there. You'll never hear about it though, only on channels like this. Never see it on the BBC or Sky News or Channel 4 or the other channels that have popped up since I've not been here in the last 20 years. The inconvenient truth of how people feel. It's like in New Zealand, isn't it, when any story about Jacinda or the Maori Party or Hey Pua Pua or anything else that's controversial. I never had, well, even good stories about Jacinda, if there's any good stories about Jacinda, or the radical extremists of the Maori Party. They never have comment sections anywhere where people can comment. Never. Because the media is controlling what people say. And they will not have you putting negative comments about their agenda. And the stupid, which there are many, unfortunately that's the majority, believe the media. And they believe the propaganda, because the media is just a propaganda machine. Propaganda of the government and globalists, like I've said many times before. So yeah, just look at this old building over here, look. The Royal Museum and Free Library. I'll just stand outside it. So we're having a bit of a chat here and I'm just showing you the sights. Look at this behind me. Beautiful, isn't it? There he is. Very old town. This goes back to the Roman times, 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago. Kiwis can't comprehend that. It's small fry. It's Italian history and Greek history. But anyway, I think I've been on here long enough. I've said what I need to say, probably a bit more. And so showed you a little bit of this beautiful, beautiful little town of Canterbury. A busy, busy little place. Okay, that's me. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment and share. See you later.